So it's been quite widely asked over the last couple of years for a review on this Aventa. Well, I never really thought that I would be the type of person that would do a review on one of these air conditioning, heating / whatever it is units, but here's one. This is going to be literally my experience from using it over the last 2 years, in the summer and in the winter. And that's pretty much going to be it, real life experience. So I don't know whether you can hear it, but it is on at the moment. The temperature outside is 30 degrees Celsius. We're in June 2025. It's summer. I've got the air conditioning on and it does a very, very good job. The fan is on speed 1. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to hear it. Hopefully you can, or maybe you can't. If you can't hear it, that's great as well. When I first had it installed, I did think it was quite loud. But I've had it for 2 years. I've used it for heating and for air conditioning, you know, cooling. Whether I've just got used to it, or maybe it's worn in and got quieter, I don't know. But it's definitely quieter than it was, well, at least to me. Yeah, I think I'm definitely pleased with it now. It sits quite happily there up on the ceiling. There's a little bit of dust in the vents. Just ignore that for the most part. But as you can see, we've had it for, there's a bit of dust in there. It's been used fairly regularly for 2 years now. And there's a few little niggles with it that I wish they would change. Now, one of those for me is quite important. And that's the fact it doesn't really like the cold. Now, it does say in the book, in the instructions, that if it's cold outside, frosty and icy, and it's frozen up, it'll go into defrost mode, where it'll defrost itself. It'll heat itself up and it'll defrost itself. It never worked for me. Last winter, so I try to keep it, even when it's parked up at home on the drive, I have it plugged in, I have the camper van plugged in, and I try to run the aircon and fridge and everything, you know, just to keep it all ticking over, really. And I had the heating set on a timer, but when it got anything below 0 degrees overnight, it just wouldn't fire up. It would turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, which I'm assuming must be its defrost mode. But it never ever defrosted. Later on in the day, once a bit of sun had gone on it, and it warmed up ever so slightly, it would then start to work. And it'll heat, and it heated this up to 20 degrees, no problem. I have it set to 20. I know some people have 22, 23. 20 degrees is my happy temperature. And it seems to be around nicely. Set it to 20, it'll do things, it'll work. There's one niggly thing which really annoys me, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Some of you may or may not find it as annoying. I know I'm saying the bad things first, because there's so many good things about it, but there's a couple of things I wish they would have made different. And the fact that it won't work in cold weather is a problem for me, because imagine you're at a campsite and you've had the heating, it's off overnight, or perhaps it went off by mistake overnight, yeah? It's frozen. You wake up in the morning, you're cold. You want to put the heating on. You can't, because it won't turn on, it won't defrost itself. It doesn't work because it's too cold. Now you're cold. So if you've not got a secondary measure of heating, this is your sole heater, for example. It's not mine, but if it was, you would be cold. You'd have to wait for the sun to defrost it on the roof, and then it would turn on and start heating. I don't think that's good enough for the amount of money this costs. Don't know what it costs now, but it cost a fair bit of money back when I bought it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I had it for a year before it was installed. So yeah, I wish they would do something about that to make it so it does actually heat when it's winter. The other thing, which is even more annoying than that for me, when you've got the heating on and it reaches its temperature, the compressor will go off, but the fan stays on. Now, I think they can do better than that. Why does the fan have to stay on? Why can't the whole thing just go off so it goes quiet, and then when the temperature drops, it comes back on again, maintains the temperature, and then it goes off? I don't understand really why the fan has to stay on. The compressor goes off because it stops the heat, but why does the fan have to stay? That is annoying for me. But other than that, everything's great. It's got timer functions. You've got quite a nice manual that comes with it, it does tell you, as you can see, I've read it quite often. It's a little bit worn. I often have to go remind myself of how to do certain things with it. You can connect it to the internet as well if you wanted to. Truma iNet box if you wanted to get all of that. My one's not connected to the internet. So you've got the normal remote control there. It's got the time on it all the time. And yeah, if you want to change things, you just press a button and it comes up with the... There it is. There's the temperature set to at the moment. Fan speed is 1, or an air conditioning. And you've got your timer settings. You set all them different things all on there. And I think it's fairly good. Comes with a little thing. I've got it screwed to the wall, so I can just stick it on the wall. You can set it to go on and off at certain times. So you've got, you know, sleep timer. The other thing is, it's got this night thing. Well, you put it on night, but it doesn't go any quiet. I don't really know what the point of that is. I would have thought that if you put it on night mode, it would go quieter somehow. I don't know how. That's not for me to work out. It's for them to work out. But night mode is the same noise level as normal day mode. So that's a bit strange. But other than that, it's a bloody great, fantastic unit. One of the other cool things which I really like about it is it's got mood lighting. So if you press this button here, it turns on. At least it should turn on. There we go. There's some lights, and I know it's daytime at the moment, as you can see, so you're not going to be able to see them very well, but they are there, and they've got different brightnesses. If you hold the button down, they go dim all the way up to fully bright, and then if you just press it once, they go off. I like that. That's pretty cool. It would be nice if they would go a little bit brighter, but listen, you lot are going to think I'm a really picky person. I'm not. I'm the most unpickiest person, but when I do a review on a product, particularly one that costs a lot of money, I do really like to tell you lot my actual full opinions on all the goods and the bads. When it comes to general life, I'm not picky at all. I'll just go over quite a lot of things. But listen, if this video helps to sway your opinion to buy the Truma Aventa, I want you to know my 100, but just everything that I've ever thought about it, so you can consider that kind of thing. You might not take it, but that's up to you. I would definitely recommend that you get one if you're looking at getting one, but just bear in mind the fact that the fan stays on when the compressor goes off, when you're in heating mode. It is a little bit noisy. I think for the most part it's definitely got quieter over the last 2 years of using it. I think it just needed to wear in. It's worth mentioning that I did have a custom roof made for it, because we've got a 1991 Talbot Express. The roof was never going to hold the weight. I don't know what that weighs, but it weighs a fair bit. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess. I'd hazard a guess, but I wouldn't like to tell you incorrect information. And I haven't got the box, I haven't got anything anymore that would have the weight written on it. I don't think, I can tell you that it uses a 4.2 amp, it draws 4.2 amps on cooling mode, 3.7 amps on heating mode, which is more than within perfectly fine. I mean, we often run an air fryer, a microwave, while having the heating or the aircon on. And so we've even boiled the kettle at the same time. That's well over 6 amps, but we've never had a trip. Probably should have had, but we haven't. So maybe there's something wrong. I don't know, and I don't care. But it's fine. A lot of people worry and they say, oh, if you've got an air conditioning unit, you can't have anything on at the same time. You bloody well can. 4.2 amps on AC mode, all right? Plenty. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be 20 kilograms. I don't know what it is. Probably more. But there's a fair bit of weight there. And I'll put it on the screen if I do find out what it is. Or you can just go and look it up. I mean, if you're looking at buying one... Oh, there it is. Weight. 33 kilograms plus installation materials. So the bare unit is 33 kilograms. 240 volts. Startup current 28 amps for 150 milliseconds. Heating power 1.7 kilowatt heat pump. It is a heat pump. We knew that anyway though. Air volume flow maximum is 400, whatever the hell M3H is. I don't know. Usage in units plus 40. Usage limits plus 4 degrees to 40 degrees. Now you see that goes back to what I was saying earlier on about, I did read somewhere here about the defrost mode. It says the minimum temperature that you can use it at, obviously outside, is 4 degrees Celsius. Well, that can be a problem because, well, in winter it goes below that. And I know we're in England and the weather seems to be staying warmer for longer and all that kind of stuff. But still, this winter went down to -8 at some points. So if you're out camping, and as I said, if the temperature goes below 4 degrees, your heating won't work. To me, that's a problem. But it might not be to you, which is fine. In which case, go and buy yourself one. Buy yourself one anyway. I definitely recommend you go and buy one. I'm massively happy with this. So where did we go? Yeah, I told you all that information. It's all written there. If you wanted to pause that, if it ever focuses on it, you can pause it and read it. But I dare say that you're probably looking at getting one anyway. So you probably found one in the shop and you've looked all it up and you're just trying to find videos to see what people think. That's my true opinion. It's a bloody fantastic unit. As I say, I was telling you, I had to have a custom roof made. Not for it. I mean, the roof was rotten. So, long story short, it's all on this channel if you wanted to watch it, but long story short, put a new roof on and we built the roof to accommodate that unit. I bought that unit and then we built the roof to accommodate that unit. So, I don't know what it would be like in your camper van or your caravan, you know, with the roof that it's already got. Just cut a hole and put it in. I don't know. It may vibrate, it may not, but that's for you to work out. It's great. It's got good airflow. It cools bloody well. As I say, at the moment it's 30 degrees outside. The temperature in here, when I came in here earlier on, before I turned that on, the thermometer in the corner there was reading 37 degrees. Obviously because we're in a blooming, well, it's essentially a greenhouse, I suppose, even though I had the windows shut, the blinds shut. 37 degrees. It's now down to 22.8 and it's been on for about an hour. So I think it's doing quite well. It will get down to about 18, 16 degrees if you leave it on long enough. Yeah, it's fantastic. Go and get yourself one. I definitely recommend it. Can't say no more than that. It fits well on the roof. I think I showed you that earlier on. It fits really well on the roof. It looks good. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else left to say. Go and get one. Thanks for watching. And if you've got one, I want you to put in the comments for me and for other people, because the comments are important. So if anyone's looking at getting one of these, put in the comments, you know, they can read it as well. So if you've got one, I want your bad experiences and your good experiences, please. Not just the bad ones or not just the good ones. I want everything. Put it all in the comments. And we can all read them and everybody can decide what they want to buy. Thanks for watching. If you want any more kind of videos regarding camper vans, and as I say, I would never thought I would be the type of person to review on a camping bloody product, but there we go. You ask, I give. Simple as that. If you want any more things regarding the Talbot, regarding camper vans, camping equipment, anything like that, if I can do it, I'll do it. So you ask in the comments and I'll sort it out. Thanks for watching. Take care. All the best. Love life, because that's what we're here to do. We certainly are, yes.